Hello there and welcome to the new channel.
Here to help you see
The new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansada.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Argamit.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebostillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, dear.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldon.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
My name is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
TNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and More.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC ignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC ignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. Here to help you see the new you. Today, two speakers, 20 minutes, thought-provoking messages. This is The Talk. I am Dennis Calamba, your Mr. Delightful of Learning, host of The Talk, presented by the new channel and of course sponsored by Well Life, every family, every home, Well Life. Once again, we are glad that you could join us for another episode of The Talk, where we feature local and international speakers with messages that educate, motivate, and inspire a call to action. We provide two power packed learning sessions through our speakers who invest precious minutes of their time sharing their expertise and experience for you, our dear viewers. Today is our 17th episode. Yes, episode 17. So it's probably a good reminder that this is the second to the last episode of the Talk Season 1. Yes, Talksters, we are winding up the season soon, but we are still committed to provide high impact talks through our high impact speakers. So for this episode, we are joined by two speakers who are creating and making impact through their respective careers. Versatile in many areas, but singular in their intention to do their thing and keeping it real. Live streaming from different locations in the Philippines, our episode for today will provide something of value to those who've always had that desire and goal to create impact in any endeavor they intend to undertake. So, Talksters, it's time to grab your note-taking tools, your favorite drink, and your favorite food. Get them and take them, bring them with you because we are opening the virtual stage right now. Let me introduce our first speaker. She is a voice artist, radio broadcaster, leadership trainer, teacher of giving honest feedback. She brings with her 12 years of corporate background with 5 years of managerial experience. Since 2014, she has spoken in various platforms on air and on stage about topics such as leadership, communications, and public speaking, among many others. She has been featured in the November 10, 2018 episode of The Bottom Line with Boy Abunda, where she became known for her leadership training entitled Real Talk. That's REAL Talk, the heart of influential leadership. Today on the virtual stage, she will break down the anatomy of a tough, honest feedback, also known as Real Talk. And she will teach you the 5 steps to set yourself up for feedback success. Please welcome the queen of Real Talk, Miss Ada Cuaresma.
Thank you, Mr. Delightful Sir Dennis Calamba. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, which I wrote. Yes, I call that the law of influence. No, you make it easy for people to do what you ask them to do. And of course, thank you, Sir Dennis, for giving me this opportunity to share my message here at the talk. And I'd like to make a special shout out, of course, to my mentor, Sir Pocholo Gonzalez, for recommending me to be your guest today. Ayan. Magandang tanghali po sa ating mga talksters. And today, we are going to talk about the anatomy of tough, honest feedback and 5 steps to set yourself up for feedback success. Ayan, muli, ako po si Ada Cuaresma, also known as the Queen of Real Talk. At ang totoo po, I just stumbled upon my branding by accident because just like what Sir Dennis mentioned in the introduction, actually tomorrow, it will be exactly 2 years ago when this episode of The Bottom Line with Boy Abunda aired on television. And I was given the golden opportunity to be one of their guests. Actually, the opportunity also came through Sir Lloyd Luna. No? So siya po yung nag-recommend sa akin. And in this interview, I actually shared about my leadership talk entitled Real Talk, puro talk, diba? Real Talk, the heart of influential leadership. And towards the end of this interview, I remember saying in front of Boy Abunda, the king of talk, no? Sabi ko, I think I wanna be known as the queen of real talk. So natawa si Tito Boy, so feeling ko may dating, kaya pinanindigan ko na lang. Ayan. And so I just wanted to give you that quick backstory about my branding. But I'd like to kick off our discussion today, and let's get started with this question. Got feedback? And what I mean by that is there someone in your life whom you need to give some tough, honest feedback to? Yung tipong meron kang gustong-gustong sabihin, pero hindi mo masabi-sabi. Halimbawa na lang, meron ka bang tao na kakilala either at work or at home na meron siyang behavior that just drives you crazy at gusto mo sana natigilan na niya, no? Or di kaya meron ka bang katrabaho na pakiramdam mo medyo nagiging pabigat na at hindi nakakatulong sa trabaho ng inyong team o ng inyong department, right? Or maybe you know someone who is struggling and you want to help pero hindi naman sila humihingi ng tulong. Eto pa, is there someone close to you that you know is lying and keeping secrets from you and you just want to know why they can't tell you the truth? O last na, is there a relationship that you need to end because things are no longer working out? Nako, parang marami nakarelate doon. And well, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships because those kinds of breakups can also happen in other relationships, right? Like for example, in our professional relationships, sometimes we need to let go of an employee. Medyo unfortunately, naging common yan because of COVID, no? Or di kaya when you need to let go of a client or maybe to replace a vendor, di ba? Kung nakaka-relate ka sa mga scenario na sinabi ko, well, I think that you and I could both agree that the best thing to do in those situations is to actually talk to that person and give them that honest feedback, right? Because otherwise, you would suffer the consequence of not giving your feedback for God knows how long. Agree ba kayo doon? Di ba, no? Yun ang dapat nating gawin. But we have a problem. You see, for many of us, when feedback matters most, that's when we're most reluctant to say it. Tama ba ako? We usually dread that moment when we need to give honest feedback because we associate those moments with painful and negative consequences. Kasi ang paniniwala nga natin, the truth hurts. And that's why I actually came up with a term for these feedback moments and I call them your real talk. And honestly, I think that term is just appropriate, no? Because when you hear the words real talk, ano ba usually yung pumapasok sa utak natin? Magpakatotoo tayo, di ba? Huwag tayong magplastikan, right? Let's just have an honest conversation. And you know what? Just out of curiosity, recently I went to Twitter, no? Sinearch ko po yung hashtag Real Talk kasi marami sa atin ang gumagamit yan and I personally use it for the Real Talk brand, no? So na-curious ako, pumunta ako ng Twitter. And I actually found tweets like this, no? Sabi, never waste your feelings on people who don't value you. Hashtag Real Talk. O, diba? Eto pa, merong isa sabi niya, I'm tired of people being so judgmental. Fix what's wrong with your life before you start judging mine. Hashtag Real Talk. So eto palang mga hashtag Real Talk na to, mga hugot, right? And if you look closely, these are thoughts and feelings that they wish they could say to a specific person, but they can't. So tinweet na lang nila, di ba? And I'm sure you and I have done this in some shape, way, or form at one point in our lives, no? Nag-post tayo sa social media ng isang bagay na actually meant for a specific person na hindi natin masabi-sabi. So why do I call these honest feedback moments a real talk? And why is it actually written like this? Well, actually, una sa lahat, nakapatent po yan, kaya may registered mark, no? But the reason why REAL is an acronym is because I actually came up with the meaning of the word real, no? Which stands for the 4 characteristics of these feedback conversation that make it a struggle for many of us. So isa-isahin po natin. Letter R stands for raw. In Tagalog, hilaw, no? When you say raw, it means it's uncooked, it's unprepared, it's unprocessed, right? And in the context of a dialogue, raw means unrehearsed. And so a real talk is raw for 2 reasons because number 1, wala ka namang script or PowerPoint to dictate the flow of the conversation. And the second reason it's raw is because you don't know how the other person will respond. At hindi ka naman direktor at hindi naman to teleserye, di ba? Even if you're having a formal conversation, let's say, for example, you are a boss and you're doing a performance review, right? Hindi mo naman pwede sabihin doon sa kausap mo na, pag pinag-usapan natin yung areas for improvement, dapat wag ka magalit. Dapat chill ka lang. At kung iiyak ka man, dapat sa kaliwa lang yung tulo na luha mo. Di ba? Hindi naman natin pwedeng i-direct yung usapan ng ganon. That's why, in most cases, these feedback conversations are raw. Okay? Letter E stands for emotionally charged. Nako, aminin na po natin, may mga bagay, may mga sitwasyon, may mga tao na iniisip mo pa lang na bubwisit ka na, diba? And at the heart of an honest feedback is usually an emotion because you wouldn't really feel the need to give feedback if it didn't make you feel anything. Diba? And the problem is when we are emotionally charged, no, we don't usually think about what we do or say. Like, nangyari na ba sa'yo yung tipong galit na galit ka, meron kang nasabi, At tapos nung hinahimasmasan ka na, you suddenly thought of a better way to say it, right? That is what happens when we are emotionally charged. Letter A stands for anticipating attack. When we have tough, honest feedback to give, we usually predict that the other person will be defensive. In fact, that's the number one reason we are reluctant to give the feedback in the first place. Kasi iniisip natin, baka magalit, baka sumigaw, di ba? Baka magbasag ng gamit, baka manapak. And the truth is, we could be right. No? But the problem when we anticipate attack is we bring ammo into our conversation. May dala tayong bala. No? And that bala could be in the form of evidence. Magdadala tayo ng lahat ng ebidensya na pwede natin dalhin. CCTV footage, di ba? Dadali mo yung employee handbook, magdadala ka ng kopya ng Philippine Constitution. Lahat na pwede mong dalhin, dadali mo para wala siyang kawala. Di ba? Another thing that we normally bring into these conversations are witnesses. Well, not an actual person perhaps, but we bring their statements. We say things like, actually napansin din nila, di ba? Or mag-email ka, it has come to my attention that, di ba? Para lang masabi na hindi lang ikaw ang nakapansin, sila lang, nandadamay ka ng ibang tao. Another ammo that we unknowingly bring into our feedback conversations are our evil intentions. And I'm going to talk about that later when we go into the 5 steps. But the bottom line is this. When you anticipate attack, you attack them first before they can attack you. And last but not the least, letter L stands for life or death, not of someone, parang awan nyo na, wag po kayo magpatayan sa mga real talk nyo, no? Not of someone, but of something, no? Because in most cases, we care about either the issue, the person, or both the issue and the person. So speaking up feels like a huge risk. No, for many of us, it could mean the life or death of a friendship, no, a relationship, or a good first impression with the boss, or sometimes something more tangible, like maybe the life or death of a promotion, or a sale, or a business deal. We feel that these things are at stake, kaya siya life or death. So yun po ang ibig sabihin ng real talk. Ito yung tinatawag kong anatomy of a tough, honest feedback. And again, because of these 4 characteristics, it's no wonder why many of us struggle to deal with honest feedback conversations. So much so that when we find ourselves in moments when we have to give feedback, our survival mechanism of fight or flight usually gets triggered, no? So we either default to fight, ibig sabihin, nagsisigawan tayo, we debate, we argue, we're sarcastic, we throw insults. Sometimes we even resort to physical violence, nabunot ka, nanapak ka, di ba? Most of us naman would actually default to the flight response. We'd rather flee. Ano ibig sabihin nun? You walk out. Magtatanim ka na lang sama ng loob. You withhold information. You avoid talking about the topic, or sometimes you even avoid the person altogether. Ito yung tinatawag nating ghosting, no? We backstab. We don't talk to the person directly, but we tell other people, or we rant on social media. Another form of response that we do as a flight response is we work around the issue. We fix the problem when we think they're not looking. Ayaw niyang ayusin. Sige, aayusin ko na lang pag tulog na siya. Di ba? And the sad part is any which way you choose, in most cases, we end up not getting the result that we want, and worse, we even run the risk of damaging our relationship with those people. So, my friend, nakaka-relate ka ba? Kung nakaka-relate ka, I'm sure you're wondering, is there a better way to handle our real talk, no? If fight or flight is not getting us where we want to go, what other options do we have? And as it turns out, we are just missing a huge, huge piece of the puzzle. Because the reason we default to fight or flight is because we don't set ourselves up before we give our honest feedback or before a real talk. Because wouldn't you agree with me if I say that even before you open your mouth to speak, no, there's already a lot of conversations going on in your head. Tama ba ako? Diba? And that's why I always say that 80% of our real talk actually happens internally. It happens inside us. And so today, I want to give you the 5 steps to set yourself up for feedback success. And these 5 steps are actually anchored on the overall mission of getting your head and your heart right. Ayusin mo yung puso at isipan mo bago ka pa makipag-usap. Because whatever is going in your head and in your heart literally dictate how you approach your real talk. It dictates your tone of voice, it dictates your gestures, it dictates your facial expressions, even your choice of words, and sometimes it even dictates the outcome that you want out of the conversation. So you need to reflect, you need to assess, and you need to realize where your head and your heart are so that you can put them back in the right place. So here are the 5 steps to set yourself up for feedback success, no? Step 1 is to release meaning from your head. You know, the reality is when someone does something that is not aligned with what we expect from them, ang tendency natin is to give meaning to what they did, no? And meaning can actually come in various forms. It could be in the form of judgment, right? When you judge something as right or wrong or good or bad, when you say, bali yung ginawa niya, masama siya, ako yung tama, siya yung mali, those are all judgments, right? Another type of meaning that we give to a situation is conclusion. So when you find yourself using absolute words like never, always, everything, nothing, everybody, nobody, di ba? When you say things like, lagi na lang siyang ganyan, or hindi na siya magbabago, o wala na siyang ginawang tama. Yan, those are all conclusions. Another meaning that we give to situations are labels, no? When we use adjectives or descriptive words or phrases, when we call someone tamad, we call them bobo, we call them sinungaling, right? Those are all labels. Another type of meaning are backstories, like when you assume the reason for why someone did what they did. Palibhasa kasi siya yung boss, di ba? O baka naiinggit, baka bitter, di ba? Ganyan yung mga backstory na naiisip natin. And last but not the least, your bias and prejudice, what you're for and what you're against. So when we say things like, sa lahat kasi ng ayoko yung niloloko ko, diba? Ayoko kasi nung ganyan. So those are all your biases and your prejudice. So why do we need to release all these meanings from our head? Because these meanings are the ones that cause us to be emotionally charged, no, in our real talk. In other words, it's not what the person did, but what we think they did, okay, that makes us emotionally charged when we give feedback. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is watch out for the motive creep. Ang ibig sabihin doon, well, sabi ko kanina, get your head and your heart right. So the heart is primarily about your motive, no? And motive is your reason for giving the feedback. Well, here's the good news. In most cases, we have the purest intentions, no, for the feedback that we want to give. We care about the person, we want to help, we want to solve a problem, right? But sometimes what happens is what I call the motive creep. And this usually happens if you don't get to do step 1, which is release meanings from your head. Because when your head is clouded with meaning, your evil intention will slowly creep into the conversation without you knowing. So now, you're giving feedback not just to solve a problem or to help out, you're actually giving feedback to para hindi ka mapahiya, no? Or to win the argument. Minsan naman gusto mo para matapos na, sige, para wala nang umiyak. O minsan naman gusto mo magpaiyak, di ba? Sometimes we give feedback to show the person who's boss, and at worst, we sometimes give feedback to hurt the other person's feelings para malaman nila na nasaktan din tayo. And I'm not calling them evil intentions because they're inherently bad, but what I'm saying is that these motives will cause you to act in the exact opposite from getting what you want. So you need to be clear about what you really want out of the feedback conversation, and also develop a sense of awareness when an evil intention creeps in. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is listen to what you left unsaid. Now, here's a good exercise. Think about one of your real talks, no, a past experience of when you gave feedback and you'd ended up in a fight response, nakipag-away ka. Now, get a piece of paper and divide it into 2 columns. On one column, write the things that you said in the actual conversation. And on the other column, write down the things that you thought and felt but did not say. Now, when you do this exercise, this is what's going to happen. You will realize how much you're actually filtering out of the conversation. Yung tipong ang dami mong hanash, pero ito lang yung nasabi mo. Diba? You filtered out so much. You left a lot of things unsaid. And unfortunately, when you have all these things that you left unsaid, if you don't talk it out, you will act it out. No? So your body language reveals the things that you actually filtered from what you said in the conversation. Number 4, this is a big one. No? Notice your role in the situation. So basically, this is the exact opposite of one of our basic instincts when we are in a real talk, and that is blaming. No? When we have honest feedback to give, ang instinct natin is manisi. Kasalanan niya di ba? Bakit kasalanan ko ba? Sino ba may kasalanan dito? Puro ganun ang tanong natin. But the problem with blaming is you're focused on the other person's fault and it's not really solving anything. And again, you run the risk of damaging your relationship with that person. So instead of looking and pointing to the other person, what you need to do is to look at yourself first, okay? Because whether you like it or not, and whether you admit it or not, you contributed something to the situation. Now, some of our common roles that we don't normally realize when we have tough, honest feedback to give is when we don't raise the issue the first time it happened. Hindi pala okay. pero hindi mo sinabi. So your silence was like an approval. Diba? The second type of role that we usually play is when we trigger the other person's behavior. And I think many of us are guilty of this. Yung tipong ang ayos na lumapit, ang ayos na nagtanong, tapos piniloso po mo. Nangyari na ba sa'yo? Nagawa mo na ba yun? Yung tipong, start na ba yung meeting? Ay, oo, kaya nga nandito pa ako, diba? And kung aaminin naman po natin sa sarili natin, no, in most cases, hindi naman ganun ka-tight yung relationship natin dun sa tao na ginagano natin for them to even find it funny. Right? And another role that we usually play in these kinds of situations is when we make the other person feel it's not okay to speak up or to ask for our help. Hindi po pag nagtanong sa'yo, paano ba ito gawin? Eh di i-google mo. Diba? Or, ay hindi ko kasi alam. Ako na nga, tabi na dyan. Diba? So you need to identify your role in the situation. And last but not the least, step number 5, name your real problem. Okay? Have you said something like this before? Ano ba yan? Hindi man lang pinatay yung ilaw. Ako na lang ba lahat ng gagawa dito? Nasabi mo na ba yun? Or at least some version of that, no? Ang tanong, yung ilaw ba talaga ang problema mo? Diba? Because when you don't name your real problem before you speak up, no? Your one of two things will actually happen when you get to the moment when you need to give feedback. You either, on one hand, you bring up the tiniest part of the problem. Uy, pakipatay naman yung ilaw next time. But you know deep down inside you that a bigger problem is frustrating you, so it doesn't really get resolved, right? The other extreme of that is when you dump all your stuff in a single conversation. Yung tipo sasabihin mo, pagod na nga ako, tapos kaliit-liit na bagay, hindi mo ginawa. Tapos pag naputulan tayo ng kuryente, ano, kasalanan ko pa rin? Tapos syempre, yung tao kausap mo, magugulat sa'yo, tapos ang tatanong niya sa'yo, ano talagang problema mo? Diba? And that is the question that you need to ask yourself. Ano ba talaga ang problema mo? Because in most cases, when we have tough, honest feedback, our problems usually come in bundles. No, we have a bigger underlying problem that's boiling deep down inside, and you need to identify what that is. In most cases, hindi lang yung ginawa ng tao yung problema natin. Sometimes our problem is the pattern, no? Hindi lang yung ilaw, pati yung ref hindi sinara, yung sapatos hindi sinole. So it's a pattern of behavior, right? Another type of thing that or another real problem that we could have is what it made me feel. Ada kasi nakakapagod na, right? Or maybe what you thought it meant. Pakiramdam ko wala kang pakialam sa akin. Or yung mas malalim na real problem for most of us is what it means to our relationship. Mahal mo pa ba talaga ako? Yan, yung mga ganyan. So you need to dissect the issue and identify the feedback that you need to give that will give you the result that you truly want. So these are the 5 steps at a glance. So I hope this is helpful for you. No? And again, the overall mission is to get your head and your heart right. And the reason I said these steps will set you up for feedback success is because this is actually the first stage of what I call the Real Talk Roadmap. So the Real Talk Roadmap is a framework that I created to serve as a navigation guide, no, for giving tough, honest feedback. So set up is actually the first stage. And I guess this is the time where I could plug. I actually have a training series upcoming in December where I go in depth into the entire Real Talk Roadmap. I don't have time to go through it right now, but you can actually visit www.realtalksolutions.asia/roadmap to download the course details in PDF and to also get more information. So hindi ko na i-elaborate. Ayan. And so to close my presentation, I just want to say that, well, I don't want to say that I hope you learned a lot, but I want to say that I hope you learned something useful and valuable today, no? Because today's episode, sabi nga ni Sir Dennis kanina, is about making impact. And I honestly believe that when it comes to your personal and professional relationship, I think learning how to give honest feedback is one of the best ways that you can make that huge impact. Because imagine, no, what if we could build a world where exchange of honest feedback feels safe and normal, diba? Where people feel it's okay to express themselves, their ideas, their frustrations, their thoughts, their feelings, without fear that what they will say will be used or held against them, right? Imagine if each and every one of us could feel that we are safe, we are heard, and that we matter. How much better do you think this world could become, and how much greater things do you think we could create? And I'm sorry for the glorifying image, no, but I hope that you could all join me in building this kind of world, no, a world that feels safe for telling the truth, because at the end of the day, each and every one of us have truths that we need or we want to be loved and accepted for. So with all that being said, maraming salamat po. Thank you so much, The Talk. And now, back to you, Mr. Delightful, Sir Dennis Calamba. Thank you so much.
Since I got my new place, I've enjoyed every single day here. Hotel-like amenities, attentive staff, resort-style living, all in a premium location. So life here is easy and convenient. That's why I invested in another unit. I can earn more, and they can enjoy the very same things I enjoy at home. What a life! So much more rewarding. So much more to life. SMDC.
We need beauty every day. We need power every day. Are you ready?
Ready?
Ready.
Beauty is power.
Welcome back to the talk with me, Dance Calamba. Please hit me with the like or follow at Facebook on Dance Calamba, the Mr. Delightful of Learning, and join our learning community at Learning Events and Resources PH. Of course, the talk is sponsored by Well Life, every family, every home, Well Life. And since this is a Monday, the next day, I am inviting you to Well Life's regular Boom meeting. That's Boom Business Online Opportunity Meeting. So that's 8:30. You can just visit the FB page of Well Life, and there you will get to learn and know about why Well Life is one of the fastest growing businesses despite the pandemic. So this could be a blessing to all of you. So again, tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m., Well Life Boom event. So before I went on a break, the proud team told me that I was on mute when I thanked Ada. So let me take this opportunity to again thank Ada Cuaresma, the Queen of Real Talk. Thank you for those two wonderful insights. Of course, the meaning of real talk and the 5 steps to honest feedback. And I hope I will be making justice in terms of articulating your great insights later during the recap. But for now, I'd like to invite everybody to watch all of these inspirational shows under the TNC roster. So you'll see a poster featuring all the TNC shows. So let me just mention them one by one. Of course, we start off with the big picture, inspiring stories of notable personalities, streams Mondays to Fridays, 7 p.m. Human Resources Management on HR Hotline every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 12 noon. TNC has the Family Business. It is everyone's business stream Saturdays at 4 p.m. Life, Business, and Success Stories on the Fourth Project. Saturdays, 10 p.m. Dubai, 6 p.m. Philippines. Beauty Beyond What Your Eyes Can See. It's Usapang Beauty every Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Time to hear positive stories from those who recovered. COVID Stories, stream Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. What else do we have? We have Life Purpose and Turnaround Stories. The show is U-Turn, streams Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. What else? What else? We have this one. Build and own a property. It's the home buyer streams Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Laugh and learn from puppetry arts around the world. It's the Puppet Story streams Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Magbenta, bumili at tumulong dahil bukas na ang TNC Marketplace. It's an online night bazaar Thursdays and Fridays at 10 p.m. Know Your Rights and the Basic Law. It's Your Law Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Learn about money and more every Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. Philippines and 5:30 a.m. in the USA. What else do we have? We have this one, Chill and Booze. It's the after shift every Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Strategize and win in life through Win Within, Saturdays, 8:30 p.m. This is for kids. So hello kids, dream, achieve, nurture, and inspire. Watch the Danny Art Show every Fridays, 5:30 p.m. Learn together across borders through foreign affairs every Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Because health is wealth, we have Healthline every Wednesdays and Fridays, 4 p.m. Celebrate Women at Work every 9 a.m. Saturdays, of course, here on TNC. Always have an awesome day. It will be live streaming later because it's a Monday, later at 2:30 p.m. Cybernext empowers people and companies to be secured in a digital world every Wednesdays, 12 noon. Know the emerging technologies shaping our future. It's Tech You every Fridays at 2:30 p.m. So I would like to say that this is my favorite show. Of course, it's my show, The Talk, two leaders in one platform. We live stream every Monday at 12 noon. And friends, also please do catch our TNC original shows such as One Day, a live storytelling, and it alternates with TNC Town Hall, co-hosted by TNC founders Lloyd and Apple. The Town Hall is the show where we talk to you, our valued audience. So friends, ladies and gentlemen, those are just some of the shows. Well, I say some because we will be having more shows on the way. So I hope that you continue to support our shows. And TNC, even if it just started a few months ago, we are very happy that the family has just grown by leaps and bounds. So I hope we continue to inspire and we continue to transform everyone who watches our shows because TNC helps hashtag see the new you. Yes. And of course, with that, we have our second speaker. Let me introduce her to all of you. She is a versatile professional. She is an independent HR training consultant of AGE, Business Management and Training Consulting. She also owns a small online food tray business called Cucina Que Ini. And she also finds value in selling. She is a vlogger. She is a part-time artist, actress in soap operas. I hope you're familiar with these soap operas. They are Nagsimula sa Puso, Agua Bendita, Magic Palayok, and Kadenang Ginto. Nice titles for soap operas. Her exposure in various fields and industries made her a universal talent, which helped her be adaptable, especially this critical season. She attended Toastmasters in 2018. She is certified in DISC or DISC by Wiley. Also certified in GENOS, Emotional Intelligence, and Gamified Leadership Effectiveness through PDI Trainer. She is a proud member of PHRG, that's Philippine HR Group, IMPhil or IMPhil, PSTD, and the Philippine Association of Professional Speakers or PAPS. Her motto is, "You are not too old and it is not too late to be wonderful." Today on the virtual stage, she will talk about inexpensive, high-impact social media marketing for online sellers. Talksters, please welcome Miss Athena Encarnado.
Hi. Hi, Dennis. Thank you. Thank you very much. Before I begin, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our host, Mr. Dennis Calamba, for inviting me to be part of today's show here in The Talk. It is a privilege to be able to share to everyone what worked for our business, Cucina Que Ini, in terms of social media marketing. I would also like to express my gratitude to the new channel, this online network show, because it has been my dream to be part of TED Talk. This is not TED Talk, but it's a TED Talk type of show. And even if it's only virtual, you made that dream come true. So again, thank you. Now, I know that Dennis already introduced me, but let me introduce again myself. My name is Athena Encarnado, a versatile professional because I do a lot of things all at the same time. I do HR consulting, business development, sales and marketing, and I own a small online food tray business named Kusina Kaini. We have been established since November of 2015, and we just had our 5th anniversary yesterday. Woohoo! So, more than talking about the specifics of this business of ours, I would like to share to everyone here how social media helped us in growing the community of our business, how it gave us leverage not only through reach, but also through sales, and how we did not almost spend to advertise, but have captured our target market. The title of my topic is Low-Key High-Impact Social Media Marketing Presence for Online Sellers. Before I begin, let me have a disclaimer. I always believe that everything isn't a one-size-fits-all. So this worked for us. It may also work for you, and I hope that it would too. Everything is a risk. It depends on us if we plunge in or not. I would consider myself a FOMO. Do you know what a FOMO is? A person who fears of missing out. In the past, I used social media to update people of what's on my mind. Actually, I just checked on my timeline. And 12 years ago, what I saw on my timeline was, I am currently upset because I cannot upload my photo. Imagine how pathetic. Because in reality, who cares about what you think? You see, we all know that social media is the fastest moving thing in the world. And I love it. It gets you connected fast, whenever and wherever you are. As I have matured in social media, yes, apart from I am already matured, I thought that in the now, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, podcast, TikTok, and even Spotify are being used to inform, to educate, and to find. It is one powerful tool to market, to promote, and of course, to sell. My favorite thing to do. Given that, it's a fact that not always you are able to close a sale when you post. It's not always that you get those likes. Because when you use social media, when you want branding, when you want sales, we do not only post. I'll give you an example. There's a post, humidifier for sale, 2,000 pesos, delivery to be shouldered by customers. Terms of payments is this. Have you posted something you want to sell with only this caption? What reception did you get? In my title, I said inexpensive because you can promote, you can make a sale without boosting or without placing an ad. In our 5 years of business here in Kusina Kaini, I have not placed an ad, have not offered our business to groups, but we made sales. We got orders. And I'm saying this not only for this facet of my business, but also for the rest. I have sold trainings, HR consulting projects, franchise businesses, resell products, food, bread, computer, printer. And by the way, printers are still available, so just PM me for orders. Just kidding. You see, as a marketer, we have to change who we are. The traditional marketing is indeed still there, but no longer relevant. There are a few things that I do that I think has been effective. Let me tell you this. Before the pandemic, and while Kusina Kaini was on hiatus, we only had 500 plus supporters on our Facebook page. On Instagram, since I can no longer access the previews, I had to build again this July of 2020. At present, I have 25 followers. And for Facebook, I have almost 1,100 supporters. Think about it. More than 50% increase to date. What took us more than 4 years to build only took us 5 months to beat. What worked for us? 7 items. Let me give you the first one. The first one is content. Apologies, the ink of my printer has gone. So there, content. You have to make people want to buy your product. Invest on thought of caption, stating why they must choose you, why they should buy from you, and what is the product for them, coupled, of course, with a glam photo. because the eyes are the one who buys. The glam photo alone does not suffice. It should be a combination because people buy content. Number 2, listen from people. Listen to people. What does that mean? What do they like? What do they value? What will make them loyal? What will make them want your product? Do not forget to do a research because, again, it isn't what you want, but it is what they want. All right. Number 3, customer experience. As a business, I also support my fellow businesses. I make it a point to purchase from them. May it be the well-known ones or really startup like us. It is part of my case study, and I would rate the sellers more than the product. I would assess the experience. Those not so pleasing experience will be a grain of salt for our business to ensure that we do not do the same. There is no perfect business, but the customer service can make a difference. I have this motto too, apart from the first one that Dennis mentioned. Your customers will buy because of the quality of your product, but they will stay because of the experience they received from you. In Kusina Kaini, I cannot say that I have reached my sales vision because we are undermanned at this point. But we get orders that are enough for us to manage, and most are repeat ones. All right. Number 4, impact of reach. Communities, groups, networks are important for business. We should ensure that if we invest and be active with relevant associations, affiliates, and to be able to capture your target market. As mentioned, we have not placed an ad to promote our business. All are organic. I have requested Indeed support from social media friends, but I put leverage on influence and credibility. Number 5, always be talking. Always be talking. My friends and family on social media know this. I am a certified talker, not only in person, but also virtually. Kidding aside, do not stop talking. Post, tweet, share, engage constantly, because the more you post, the more people sees your product. If not now, eventually they will buy, because most of us, if not all, are virtual. Why do you think a lot are shopping through Lazada, Shopee, Amazon, and others? Because of those constant notification pop-ups. I myself had to uninstall Lazada because I'm soon going to end up broke if I don't. Kidding aside, flood your wall, flood your friend's newsfeed. It works. Number 6, always execute purposefully. You need to understand why your customers are doing it, because their needs change, their habits change. You always have to be aware that there will be more Pinterest and Instagram tools to use. You have to be able to understand you can engage in a different way. We can now engage on when they are shopping, where they go. We can engage regardless of the place. Lastly, we always see this. Be agile. You have to be able to think ahead before others or before your customers. I remember a business that was so promising and lucrative at one point. But when pandemic came, this business had a hard time bouncing back. We cannot wait for the pandemic to end to be able to go to the normal flow of business. We do not even know if we would still have the normal ways after 2, 3, or 5 years from now or more. So we have to be able to adapt, move quickly and easily to survive. These are the ones that worked for us. Before I end my talk, I would also want to share this to all. You see, your biggest obstacle to online presence is maybe you. Yes, it is maybe you. And I'm going to give you 3 tips how to overcome this challenge. First is thanks. Not about you, it's about them. Thanks. When you are thanking someone, you show appreciation, and people like being appreciated. Number 2, praise. Okay. When you praise, it works the same way when you are recognizing someone on something great that someone else has done against you. You are building trust. Trust is the glue that keeps you, your community together. It's not about you, it's about them. Third and last, generosity. Generosity, giving ideas, thoughts, content. When you are doing that, you realize it's not about you, it's about them. If you are someone who takes in ideas and projecting it to everyone else, then you are going to be full of life, vice versa to takers. This is a real story. I used to just take in, and life was so tough. But when I started sharing, including knowledge, that's where we experience abundance given this pandemic season. Ending my talk with this, the secret of successful online media presence is timing. I would like to praise all 12 viewers for being a good audience. Thank you for the gift of attention. And since I'm at it, I'm not sure if I'm already running out of time. I'm promoting our online food tray business. We have an FB page. Just search Kusina Ke Ini with a K. And for our Instagram, it's Kusina Ke Ini Official. You may also contact me through my mobile phone. It's 0917-813-4862. Or add me on your Facebook. It's Athena Encarnado for any in-house, virtual, HR, or training requirement. I also have a YouTube channel. It's Not So Tiny Tintin, and we'll soon have a change in concept related to what I am currently busy with. And with that, thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Talksters. That was Athena Encarnado. Wow, such versatility coming from her, don't you think? So she is wearing many hats, but at the same time, her tips are very spot on, and I will get back at them during the recap. So, friends, hang on for the recap. The talk will be right back after these reminders. back. Dennis Calamba here, the Mr. Delightful of Learning, host of The Talk, presented by TNC and sponsored by Well Life, every family, every home, Well Life. So again, another invitation for you to join us tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Well Life is going to have their Boom activity. That's every Tuesday. Boom is Business Online Opportunity Meeting. So learn some things. I think tomorrow the topic will be selling also in the digital space or a digital marketplace. And then, of course, after that, you will get to know why Well Life is one of the fastest growing and expanding businesses, even as we are in the thick of the pandemic. So Tuesday, 8:30 p.m., that's tomorrow, Well Life Boom activity. And of course, just do hit me with a like or follow at Facebook, Dance Kalama, the Mr. Delightful of Learning, and also learning events and resources PH. So what do I have in store for the recap? Well, of course, two great topics delivered by two high impact speakers. I think for me, I can just share two E's, which I think is common in both of their deliveries or talks. So how do we create impact in people and in the marketplace, especially in the digital marketplace? I think for me, it's first E is emotions. Make sure that our intention is really, to come from a standpoint of emotions. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative in as much as we try to process what is negative, but transform it into something positive so that when you engage with people, it always ends out beautiful for both parties. Wonderful, and the communication will be intact. So emotion really plays an important part, especially when giving honest feedback. It's really about managing your own emotions at the same time, making sure that you are also managing the emotion of the person that you need to give an honest feedback to. Also, of course, in the digital marketplace, emotion play an important role in the decision-making process of the buyer. As they always say, whatever it is, your content, whether it's video, whether it's a text post, whether it's, an image of a wonderful pictures of food, it really should appeal to the emotions. So that's E, emotions. And then another E is, of course, experience. When you are giving feedback, let us have that intention in mind to really create a positive experience. Sometimes people don't want feedback because of certain perceptions and misconceptions about the process of feedbacking. But as far as we have the best intention to make feedback a positive experience for both parties, then people will be more open to receiving it. And who knows, they can also master the art of providing feedback to their friends as well, or in business or in the marketplace or in the workplace. Now, in the marketplace, experience is everything, just like what Athena mentioned. Whether you're selling a product or a service, in this case, for her, it's she's in the food business. She's also into so many things, that she's selling online. The experience should be from end to end delightful. And of course, I have my own take on delightful customer experience because it is a cycle. We are talking about a cycle where the end-to-end experience should start delightfully in the beginning and it should carry on through in the end. We cannot afford a failure of service in between steps or inside the cycle. So again, if you are a fledgling startup or you plan to have your own business, experience or providing a delightful customer experience to your customers is very key. It should start delightfully and end delightfully. So friends, talksters, that's my two E's for you as I end the recap. But of course, let us give our virtual or real round of applause to Ada and Athena. Thank you very much. So let us give our best applause for those two ladies, high impact ladies. And of course, I always hope that you were able to get valuable insights from our Power Pack presentations. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode 17 of the Talk here on the new channel. And I will do my best to deliver the most wonderful season ender, episode 18, next Monday. This has been your host, Dennis Calamba, the Mr. Delightful of Learning, or you can just call me Mr. Delightful. And I leave you with a constant encouragement to keep on learning and keep on growing. See you next Monday as we open the virtual stage yet again with 2 speakers, 20 minutes, thought-provoking messages. This is The Talk. Always pray, always be hopeful. 45 days before Christmas, Christmas will not be stopped, and Jesus will make sure that we will have the most blessed Christmas ever. Goodbye, everyone.